Well, the California Department of Fish and Wildlife has euthanized 3.2 million trout to halt a bacterial outbreak. We have some local reaction put together for us by Deb Murphy, who wrote this report. It's a bad day in Black Rock fishery. Just when you think the world could not get any weirder, it does. Fish Springs and Black Rock fish hatcheries in Inyo County have been hit with an outbreak of Lactococcus garviae. Initially quarantined in late June, the decision has been made to euthanize the fish. Hot Creek Hatchery has been inspected and cleared. Its quarantine was lifted June 25th. According to an information sheet from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife posted on our website, the hatcheries will be soon disinfected. The soonest either will produce catchable fish is estimated to be spring of 2022. Generally, a journalist's job is not to look for silver linings. Our trade, generally, is bad news. However, the world is pretty much maxed out on bad news. So we went in search of a bright red tube of lipstick for this pig. While fish stocks will obviously be limited this year, CDFW will be stocking all three runs of the Owens River, Crowley Lake, Pleasant Valley Reservoir, Bishop Creek Lower, Lone Pine Creek, and Diaz Lake. Mono County will be stocking trophy trout. Tawny Thompson, Executive Director of the Bishop Chamber of Commerce, has been working with resort owners in the Bishop Creek Canyon on a supplemental stocking program with fish purchased from Wright's Rainbows in Idaho. The guys at Reagan Sporting Goods said ponds like Buckley's and Sauter's, normally not stocked, are ripe with bass in the early morning. Despite the travel ban, Bill Daly with the CDFW reported high numbers of fishermen on the east side. They want to catch fish, he said, but they really just want to get out. Recently, Daly said he had made more contact with fishermen in a single day than on an average fishing opener. But one of his concerns with the lack of stocking is maintaining a good population of unpressured fish. Fishing guide Pat Jager has the same concern about pressure once the flow's slow and water's warm. But so far the fishing's been really good. He says, I've been guiding every day. It's been nutty, but he predicted the fish will start to migrate to cooler temperatures soon. It's sort of a perfect storm, he says. You just have to find the right water. Right now, that's the East Walker and Upper Owens. One thing Jager has noticed is the lack of Europeans and a disproportionate number of out-of-state license plates. People are freaked out, he said. There have been a lot of spontaneous trips, and we want to thank Deb Murphy for her work on this item. We'd also like to remind you to visit our website, sierrawave.net, for more information. We also have a press release from the Mono County Sheriff Search and Rescue, who rescued a climber on Mount Dana on July 19th. It happened at 11:30 a.m. and the Mono County Search and Rescue team was called to assist the climber on the third pillar of Dana. The climber had taken a lead fall and suffered various injuries. The SAR team staged at the Lee Vining Airport and began assembling their gear. The California Highway Patrol helicopter H-40 was requested as an aerial resource. Several field teams drove to Tioga Lake and the trailhead for Glacier Canyon, which leads to the Use Trail to the top of the Dana third pillar. Carrying fairly light packs, the field teams quickly made their way to the top of the third pillar, where they built a lowering system to lower a member and litter to the victim at the top of the third pitch, approximately 300 feet below the summit. The subject was assessed, treated, and packaged into the litter. Then the rigging team at the top converted the lowering system to a 7-to-1 mechanical advantage raising system and hauled the subject and attendant back up to the summit. CHP-H40 had arrived and was able to land on the Dana Plateau. The subject was carried to the A-Star, and CHP delivered the subject to Mono County medics waiting at the Lee Vining Airport. The subject was transported to Mammoth Hospital for further treatment. The rigging team converted back to descent configuration, and a team member was lowered to assist the injured climber's partner. The rigging team converted to a raising system and hauled both to the summit. The injured party's partner hiked out with the SAR team, who departed after dismantling their rigging systems. 16 team members responded to this call and volunteered 172 hours. The rescue lasted nearly 11 hours, ending at approximately 10:30 p.m. Well, we have a ultraviolet safety awareness tips that came to us from the American Safety and Health Institute, and we have posted these on our website at sierrawave.net. It's important because the Weather Channel has been forecasting temperatures hovering near and above 100 degrees recently for the past several weeks and into the coming weeks. Heat is dangerous all by itself, but the high elevations of most eastern Sierra communities compound the danger of solar radiation by being much closer to the sun with its much more harmful UV rays. Skin cancer is a real thing, and it has skyrocketed around the world with climate change. While sunburns are painful, skin cancer can be fatal. Cancer of the skin is by far the most common of all cancers. Melanoma accounts for only about 1% of skin cancers, but causes a large majority of skin cancer deaths, says the American Cancer Society. The American Cancer Society's 2020 estimates for melanoma in the United States are about 100,350 new melanomas will be diagnosed, about 6,000 of them in men and 40,000 in women. And about 6,850 people are expected to die from melanoma. The American Safety and Health Institute, again, provides information on this UV protection. And they provide certification in CPR, first aid, and other basic topics for laypersons and professionals. And we thank them for giving us permission to use their article on our website. Forest Service reminds visitors of statewide restrictions. In May, National Forest in California enacted statewide campfire restrictions until further notice to protect the health and safety of communities and firefighters. Igniting buildings, maintaining or using a campfire on national forest in California remains prohibited, except for developed campgrounds and certain permitted facilities. Check with local forests for any additional fire restrictions in place for specific locations. They're taking this necessary step to ensure that firefighters are available to safely respond and manage incidents. 95% of all wildfires in California are human caused, and many are the result of unattended campfires. So with an above average fire season projected in much of California and combined potential for wildfires and smoke to impact communities and firefighters during this pandemic, there's a need to focus on reducing or eliminating this large ignition source. We need everyone now more than ever to help reduce the number of preventable wildfires. We're in statewide fire restrictions, yet illegal fires continue to be an issue, putting a strain on firefighters and threatening communities. You can use pressurized liquid or gas devices like stoves, grills, and lanterns with shutoff valves outside of developed campgrounds with a valid California campfire permit, which can be found at California Campfire Permit online. We'll be back with more news and Dennis Madison's weather.